right, here we go. We're gonna fill this thing up. Keep in mind the tank is not completely empty, but we're gonna fill it up, and then we're gonna take it for a drive around town and see what the miles per gallon are from pump station to pump station with the 35-inch rims, or 35-inch tires. To be exact, 285, 75, 18 tires. Tundra just got a wash yesterday, so it's looking good. Alright, so we're gonna pump it till it stops. After it stops, we're gonna wait 30 seconds. We're gonna pump it again until it stops just to make sure. Alright, there goes the click. I'll wait 30 seconds now. Alright, that's 30 seconds. Click again. Alright, let's take it for a drive. Okay. So then let's do this since the tank is full. I'm gonna put the miles per gallon. Alright, so I pumped the gas full tank. I waited till it hit 30 seconds. And then I pumped it again just to make sure it's full. So now we're gonna, it says 14 miles per gallon, but we're gonna put this to 0 as well. Alright, so everything is at 0. Obviously the range, the distance to empty will update as soon as we start driving. So let's hit the road. Alright, so we're at the first stoplight, but here's how we're gonna do it. So we got the GPS separately from the car on. Originally it said 28 miles, so we're just down the street here. So 28 miles, and then we'll pump the gas and we'll figure out exactly how much you got per gallon. And then we'll see what the car says too in comparison to what the pump says, see how far off we are off on there. Another note to add is that, you know, you try to stay around speed limit, but this is just the way you would drive the truck no matter what, so nothing special. You know, obviously we're not looking at the speed limit on the street or the speedometer to figure out where we're at. We're just going to drive it the way we normally would drive the truck. So very accurate, very live. Now keep in mind, this is just normal city, some highway driving. So part 2 of this, we'll do it to where we'll take it on a small trip up in the mountains and going up and down the hills and see how it does there too as well. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to keep the camera on the whole trip because it's makes the video very boring. So we'll just record the important stuff and then the numbers so everybody knows exactly what this thing gets per miles per gallon with bigger tires. And the one thing I'll say is that I usually have a heavier foot than most, so I tend to drive a little quicker. Another thing to mention is that it's not very loud in here, so these are mud terrains and the truck is very quiet. So everybody thinks mud terrains are very loud, but these ones are not that loud at all inside. Another note to mention is that speedometer is obviously about 4 to 5 miles per hour off. Depending on how fast you're going, it might be more or less off. And this is a 2024 Toyota Tundra Platinum with the rear lockers, so 4x4 rear lockers. It's probably a little heavier than the base Tundras, but not by much. Shouldn't make that huge of a difference. One other thing to mention that I forgot to mention is that the engine start stop has been deactivated for this trip, so the engine does not, you know, stop at the stops and turns back on. That's been deactivated. Alright, so we're about coming to the gas station here at the end of the trip. Put gas real quick and see where we're at. Here at the gas station, so let's see what we got. We're doing 87 on this test, so well, let's try it again. All right, we'll wait till it clicks. Shouldn't take too long this time because it's still almost full, the truck. There's the first click. Now we'll give it 30 seconds and we'll do a second click. Figured I'd show you guys the truck one more time while we wait. All right, 30 seconds. Click. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so we used 1.862 gallons. 1.862. All right, so it said 1.862 gallons used. It has, the dashboard says 14.8 miles per gallon. 14.8 miles per gallon. And it says we went 25.9 miles, which is actually lower than what we went. We went 28.5 miles. So let's do the math on that. Yeah. All right, so then let's do this. So we went 28.5 miles per gallon. And then let's divide that by 1.862. Let's see it back. Divide that by 1.862, and that gives us 15.3 miles per gallon. So, I mean, it's off by a half a mile per gallon on the dash, but still pretty accurate. So 15.3 miles per gallon. The truck is saying we went, let's say 26 miles. We actually went 28.5, so that's due to the difference in the size of the tire. So still fairly accurate on the dash, but this is mixed city and highway. No really uphills or downhills, just slightly up and down, but mainly flat. So 15.3 miles per gallon.